The purpose of the National Stop the Bleed campaign is to make communities more resilient by better preparing the public to save lives if people nearby are experiencing life-threatening bleeding. This includes training the public in basic bleeding control techniques. Applying a tourniquet is one bleeding control technique. Tourniquets are a very effective way to stop life-threatening bleeding, but they should only be applied under certain circumstances. Before you offer any help, you must ensure your own safety. If you become injured, you will not be able to help the victim. Provide care to the injured person if the scene is safe for you to do so. If at any time your safety is threatened, attempt to remove yourself and the victim, if possible, from danger and find a safe location. Call 911 to get the medical first responders en route. Protect yourself from bloodborne infections by wearing gloves, only if they're readily available. You should apply a tourniquet when 1. The person is experiencing life-threatening bleeding. Signs of life-threatening bleeding include blood pooling on the ground, spurting or pouring from a wound, a loss of a limb, the injured person is becoming dizzy or unconscious. 2. You must have a tourniquet readily available. Stay with the injured person and do not leave the scene to go find a tourniquet. If you do not have a tourniquet readily available, use pressure to control the bleeding. Please see our video on pressure and packing for more detailed instruction on controlling bleeding without a tourniquet. The American College of Surgeons recommends using a CAT or soft T tourniquet. See links in the video description for information on where you can purchase a tourniquet. The American College of Surgeons does not recommend the use of improvised tourniquets such as belts, ropes, or other items. 3. The location of the life-threatening bleeding injury is located on an arm or a leg. Tourniquets should only be applied to legs and arms and should not be applied to the head, joints, or the core abdominal area. Finding the source of bleeding may be challenging if there is a lot of blood or there is more than one wound. To apply a tourniquet, you will loosen the tourniquet Velcro or strap and place the tourniquet 2 to 3 inches above the wound. Make sure the tab at the end is always facing towards you and pull the strap as tight as possible. Then fasten the Velcro about 3/4 way. Continue to tighten the tourniquet by turning the rod. When you can no longer tighten the rod and the bleeding stops, place the rod into the clamp to secure it. Pull the rest of the strap through the clamp on top of the rod. Then pull the Velcro strap over the top of the brackets and write the time you finished. Tourniquets are painful. It is normal for the person to be in a lot of pain after applying a tourniquet. However, it is very important to leave the tourniquet in place. Never loosen or remove a tourniquet after you put it on. Tourniquets will be removed at the hospital by trauma care specialists. Please watch our other videos in this series to learn the basics of bleeding control. Follow OEM on Twitter and Facebook to stay up to date on future class offerings.